silver is going to fizzle and flop in 2025. Now, by that I mean it's not going to go backwards. It's if it does 29, 30 US dollars an ounce at spot in January 2025, that'd be good. That'd be starting to go back on track. But it's not going to do $35 per ounce until later in 2025, and if it does that, that's going to be good. $40 an ounce is a wishful thinking joke at the most outrageous hoping. Now, I don't mind that. I love the 20 or so 1 ounce silver coins that I bought, and I'm very pleased that I got them, because as is often been said on many of these silver stacking channels, silver is a long game, and I bought them to get my cash out of the cookie jar, make sure I didn't spend it. It was a saving tactic to protect my savings from myself, so I'm happy with that. But we need to get into gold, and gold just premium because of the premiums. And we used to think that silver, the way to do that was the silver gold ratio. There would be times when we could sell some of our silver and have to swap it into gold. Well, that is long gone. That is definitely not going to happen in 2025. So silver is not the vehicle to get us into gold. I think I've got the solution. The solution is foreign currency exchanges, because thanks to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, the US dollar in 2025 is going to massively devalue. And I don't say that as somebody who's not a fan of Trump and Musk. I say that because it possibly is going to be a very good thing for the US country, for the US economy to devalue. We know that the stock exchange was expecting to see the devaluation, increase of liquidity, when there was the recent reduction in the lending rate, and they got what they wanted. But of course they were disappointed to hear that next year, 2025, there would probably be only 2 more attempts to reduce the lending rate. And they were disappointed, which is why we saw the stock market have its bit of a reduction, and we saw that that a lot of money went into the currency. The currency went up, the US dollar gained strength. That didn't convert as it should have done into gold and silver, or certainly not into silver. We saw a reduction in silver because most of the money went into Bitcoin, because Trump is the latest celebrity who's got behind the Bitcoin hype. All that said and done, we do know that there is a desire to see further liquidity in the American economy, certainly from investors, from the stock market. They want to see that. It is a dovish position from the Fed, because they're concerned about the return of inflation. There is the concerns about raising unemployment figures and the lack of productivity in industry, and especially with Trump's bring back industry to the USA and the tariff situation. And he himself has said that he wants to see a devaluation of the American dollar. He has particularly spoken out against the Japanese yen, saying that it is too low, and he wants to see that he wants to see the Japanese yen go up in value against the US dollar. And that is my solution that I am proposing. I believe that by switching currency from whatever you're in, and obviously that's going to be for many of you it's the US dollar, for me it's the Singapore dollar, but whether you're in the euro, the British pound sterling, New Zealand, Australian dollar, all these countries are likely to follow suit in further reduction of interest rates and the devaluation of their currencies, which in itself will be good for gold as far as pushing it up, which will probably mean it'll get even further out of reach of most of us, who are trying to love our silver but really want to get to own some gold. So what I'm suggesting is that up to Donald Trump's inauguration and in a few months after it, the thing to do is, as you get your savings, instead of buying silver, it would be wise to keep your savings in cash to try and get up to buying a quarter, half ounce of gold, or an ounce of gold if you can. But as you're saving your cash, take it out of the dollar and put it into the Japanese yen. And then, as the US dollar devalues and the Japanese yen goes up, when you convert it back to buy your gold, you will have had at least the 10% increase, which would be equivalent to, if not more, which would be equivalent to the similar to the will double the gold premiums, and certainly will be a lot better than the premiums you would have wasted on silver. So that's going to be my strategy. I've already been to the money converters. I'll pop down to the airport for a day out, take some photographs, and I converted $500 US into Japanese yen. I also think the Thai baht would be a good one. So what we've got to look for is currencies that have a different approach to most Western currencies. So Western governments, so along with the US, the euro, the British pound sterling, and the Australian dollar, these are currencies that have been highly valued and are looking to devaluation, have had high interest rates, where the Japanese yen has had low interest rates, zero interest rates for a long period, have recently got involved in putting up interest rates. They've had a problem where there's been people in Japan that have been massively capitalized, have been with all their land values that they've had, and capital over-capitalization they've had, have been taking out loans in Japan at near zero interest rates and using that money to finance loans in the likes of America, so loan swaps, and therefore taking advantage of the higher interests in the likes of America. Now what Japan has started doing is increasing interest rates, and they want to go further on their interest rates, and they want to see their currency go up in value. They don't rather not do it themselves. They rather see the American currency devalue itself, and they will not resist going down with it. They will be more than willing to ascend with it. The same is the case with the Thai baht. Thailand does not devalue its currency. It is also not involved in reflationary policy. Thailand's rich elite is based around the army and its monarchist elite, and they have always gone for a high currency because they like to send their money out of the country where they like to live, and they want to have a great exchange rate when they move their currencies abroad, and they've never been interested in supporting their rural poor by reflation and prime pumping the economy. So Japan and Thailand have never supported that Keynesianist method of refloating the economy. So to get into gold in 2025, whatever your cash savings are, like me, I'm sure they're very minimum, and if you want to go keep your silver still, it's not really worth, I don't believe in trying to do a silver to gold swap, but as you save for gold, transfer your cash from the American dollar, in my case the Singapore dollar, if you're on the British pound or the euro or the Australian dollar, transfer as much of your cash as you're willing to try. You can hedge your bets if you want. I'm transferring it into the Japanese yen and the Thai baht, and then when early next year the Western currencies decide to crash the value of their currencies through quantitative easing. I mean, we saw what Trump and his boss wanted to do. just before Christmas, when they wanted to raise the debt ceiling. We know there's going to be an unlimited debt ceiling. Trump wants to give out massive tax handouts, and he's going to do that by raising quantitative easing before his Doge goes out and brings about any massive savings, assuming they ever really actually take place. So there's going to be a massive increase in quantitative easing in the United States. They'll bring about the reduction in the interest rates any method he can. You devalue the currency, and you really want to take advantage of it by owning Japanese yen and then sell it back into the American dollar once it's American dollar devalues itself, and then you'll have a better position. You've still got to save to buy gold, but you'll be in a better position to buy gold. Now, I'm still going to be holding on to my 20 or so silver coins. I love them. I've mainly got British Britannias. I'm going to hold on to them because obviously you need to. I've got 20%, 10 or 15% in premiums on them, which is about a 20% spread. So from around at the time it was silver was at $20 on the spot price. $30 spot price? Yeah, $30 spot price. So, you know, I'm going to have to wait for at least it to get to $35 spot price before I would sell my coins. No, I'm not going to sell my coins. Silver will go higher. It will get its $40 at some point, and maybe then I'll sell. I don't like to sell high because then everybody else is trying to sell high, and you just won't find the buyers. I'm, in with my silver for at least a couple of years, so there's no way I'm going to get out, and it's not going to help me get my gold. I want to try and get a half ounce or a whole ounce this year, and I'm going to do that by having a currency swap and see what I can do. Well, thanks for listening. I hope this has been intriguing for you. Take it easy. Have a good day. Goodbye.